In today's video, we are going to be talking about the second part of the order boxes in our Vanguard boxes to buy before they get replaced series, and we are going to finish that off by talking about 4 boxes today. So with this video uploaded, there's only one video left, namely the second part of the Chaos boxes. After that, we are going to be done with this series and we are going to look forward to Spearhead and Rules. So if you're interested in me covering those once 4th edition arrives, obviously, consider subscribing. There's lots more content to come, so look forward to that. So since we have 4 boxes to cover today, which is a little bit more than usual, I'm going to go over the box a little bit quicker. So let's start with the Lumineth Realmlords. You're getting a Scenari Cathalar, you're getting Vanari Auralan Sentinels, you're getting Auralan Wardens, and Vanari Blade Lords. All of these units are pretty solid. I think they give you a great baseline to any army. Now, what made the Wardens really good is that they allowed you to bring Sentinels, for example, or Dawn Riders as battle line. That is probably not going to be the case in 4th edition anymore, simply because of how army building works there. So I'm going to be very interested to see whether Wardens are going to retain some sort of importance as far as including them in your list goes. Maybe they are beneficial when they are close to Sentinels or Dawn Riders or something to give them some kind of buff. All of these possibilities are out there in the open, but you know, they are all just speculation. We can't really talk about the rules. 4th edition, there's just not enough information for now, so we're going to have to wait and see for that. But I can definitely say that Wardens and Sentinels are probably always going to be somewhat relevant. Blade Lords have been historically not that great, to be completely honest, but they are really cool models, so it depends. The Cathalar is also a really cool model. The relevancy when it comes to the rules and so on is a little bit iffy, but overall a really cool model and definitely worth having at least once in your army. So overall, I think that this box is the absolute baseline of what you need for your Lumineth Realmlords, and expanding from there is very, very easy because you are not kind of committed to go into any certain temple, for example, like the Mountain Temple or the Wind Temple or anything, or maybe in the future Water Temple and so on. So what you're getting here is the absolute baseline, and then you can expand however you want, and I think that's great. So you could go out there, buy it twice, get the basics twice. I wouldn't do that. As always, wait maybe for 4th edition to arrive, or if you want to have a few Lumineth Realmlords ready for 4th edition, pick this box up once, paint it up, and then wait. When it comes to upgrades and so on, as I said, you can pick any temple, upgrade it to that. You can play basic Lumineth Realmlords. All of that stuff is still going to be possible. As far as the points go, as you can see, we're talking about 540 points, which is definitely the average. It's nothing to write home about, but it's not horrible either. As far as the savings go, we are looking at 37% on average. The US is saving 35, but overall, I would say it's above average. It's a great savings point. You're getting more than a unit for free, and that is always a good thing to have, especially considering that all the units, except for the character, obviously, are quite expensive. Lumineth are not a cheap army. So overall, when we look at the points, the list, and the savings, I think it's a great box to own at least once. Any beginner, has no reason not to buy this particular box because, as I said, you're getting the basics and they are important. As far as veterans go, you're probably already going to have a ton of Sentinels and Wardens, and at that point, it doesn't make any sense to buy even more, especially now that we don't know how list building is going to affect Wardens in 4th edition and for the Lumineth Realmlords. So overall, a clear recommendation to buy this box at least once. After that, probably not. I would just get it once, paint it up, and then wait for 4th edition to come around, and then make further choices. Here you are getting a Saurus Oblot on Carnosaur. This one has different build options. You can also build it as a Skink Oracle on Troglodoth. So this gives it validity to purchase this box, for example, multiple times if you like the alternate build paths. Then you have 10 Saurus Warriors and 3 Kroxigor. In the list you can see here, they are war spawned, but you can also assemble them as regular Kroxigors. I just included them here because they're a little bit more expensive. As far as the points go, as always, we're looking at 590 points, so there's a little bit above average. Points are going to change in 4th edition. This applies to the Lumineth Realmlords at any box I talk about, so this is just a rough estimate. I would say that a healthy estimate is plus minus 50 points from what you can see here. I don't think they are going to shift the points quite as drastically as some might think. So as far as the list goes, you're getting a ton of very cool and impressive models. The Saurus Warriors as well as the Kroxigors are brand new models. As far as the rules go, Saurus Warriors are quite important in most lists. The Kroxigors have been a little bit bad, especially lately, but that is probably going to change in 4th edition, so who cares? And the Saurus Allplot is a massive model, as you can see here. So also quite expensive model. So, you know, even though you're not getting a lot of kits, the plastic that you're getting is quite a lot and relatively new, except for the, you know, Carnosaur. As far as buying this box multiple times goes, I would probably recommend it. As always, you know, wait for 4th edition, then buy it maybe a second time, because those boxes are still going to be around once 4th edition releases. They're only going to go away once your Battle Tome releases. So once the Seraphon get their Battle Tome, this box is going to disappear. At that point, you're going to have to make a decision. But for now, picking this one up once and then picking it up a second time once you're sure how 4th edition works is probably the best play. But I would definitely say that this is probably most likely going to be a good purchase a second time. As far as the savings go, they are quite good as well. They're above average. As I usually say, the average is approximately 33%. The US hits that, but every other region gets a little bit of a bump at 35%. I think that's great. You're getting almost the Carnosaur for free, not quite, 10 pounds, you know, 10 euros and so on, less, but I still think that this box is quite worth it. The savings are pretty good. The points you're getting are solid. The units you're getting are mostly brand new. And even the Carnosaur is not that old. I think it's a, 2015, 16 model. So it's still a pretty recent model. It looks great. It's a big model. And yeah, overall, I really like this box. I think I would definitely recommend it once, probably multiple times, but we're going to have to wait and see for 4th edition. But overall, a very popular box in its own right, and I can see why. Next up, we are going to be talking about the Idoneth Deepkin. Here we are getting a Soul Scryer, we are getting Namarti Thralls, we are getting Allopaxes, or one Allopax, and we are getting Ishlein Guard, or the alternative build option. So for this particular box, we are getting 570 points, which I think is, you know, okay-ish. It's very close to the average, so nothing to write home about, but overall, a pretty solid list. As most people have been mentioning whenever this box released, that Reavers, Namarti Reavers, would have been a little bit cooler than Thralls, but, you know, it's still a fine battle line choice. Depending on how list building is going to work, this list is probably going to be a little bit all over the place, but I wouldn't kind of pay too much attention. You know, the Idoneth range is not that big. You have easy upgrade paths, and I think 4th edition is not going to screw around with list building for the Idoneth that much. So overall, I think that this particular list is solid. One thing that you need to consider is that you have multiple build options for the Ishlein Guard. You can also build them as Morsar Guard, and you need to probably wait for 4th edition before you make your choice, simply because that way you can make a more informed decision on what you want to assemble if you are undecided. If you obviously have a preference, whatever looks cooler, always assemble that. But if you're undecided, maybe waiting for 4th editions to play and instead assembling all the rest and painting that up would be a good play. Would I recommend this box multiple times? I don't know. The Ishlein Soul Scryer, weirdly enough, is not on the GW store. I don't know if it's a box exclusive model or not. I'm fairly certain it is, because otherwise GW would obviously sell it separately. If that is something that you consider valuable, this may sway you to buy it a second time, simply because you maybe like the Soul Scryer model. You can use it as a proxy, you can use it for kit bashing, all that good stuff. But overall, this box, while it's an interesting start, I would probably just stick with buying it once and then checking out the rules in 4th edition as always, and then, you know, just wait it out and probably just stick with one box and then upgrade from there, because you have a ton of options when it comes to your bigger models. You have Reavers that you can add and so on. You have a ton of options. So getting it once, as always, is great because you're saving money and it gives you a baseline as a beginner. And from there on out, I would just, you know, buy separate boxes and go for a specific build maybe you like, or for more models that you really like from the Idoneth range. As far as the savings go, we're looking at 30% across the board, except for the US, saving 33% for some reason, which is unusual. But overall, the savings are a little bit subpar. As I said, the points in this particular box are also not that impressive. I wouldn't say it's a bad box by any means, don't get me wrong, but I think it's a very average box in every sense of the word, and that's why I would definitely consider buying it once and then just stick with one box and wait it out. Maybe your next Spearhead is going to be a more interesting box once your Battle Tome rolls around, and I would be looking forward to that personally. And last but not least, we are talking about the Sylvaneth, which I can already tell is a banger of a box. As you can see, you're getting a potential 820 points, which is very impressive. If you don't build the Spirit of Druthu, but instead assemble it as a regular Tree Lord, which is probably kind of the intended way of this particular box, you're still sitting at 700 points, which is way more than is the average of, 530 to 550 points. And that makes the box alone worth it, in my opinion. As I said, 4th edition is not going to screw around with points too much, I think. And, as always, apply the plus minus 50 points rule. And you're going to definitely be sitting, at least 700 points, I think, is the minimum for this particular box in 4th edition. As far as the build itself goes, the branch which is in this particular box, I couldn't find it on the GW store either. So I don't know if this is also a box exclusive model or if just, they removed it because packaging changes or something. But for now, I have to assume that it is just box exclusive in this particular Vanguard. And the Tree Lord is a huge, impressive model yet again, quite expensive on its own. And you want multiple of these because you can assemble them multiple ways, or you can just run multiple Tree Lords. So, the big model is definitely not a deterrent from getting this box multiple times if you wanted to, and if you wanted to save more money instead of going for separate purchases. The Tree Revenants have separate build options. I would wait when it comes to assembling them just to see, how 4th works. And the Kurnoth, depending on the weapon, are, historically have been always great models. Kurnoth Hunters are amazing, and having them multiple times is always a big, bonus, thumbs up, and all that good stuff. So overall, the list itself, the models you're getting, the build options they come with, the variety, the points you're getting are quite impressive. And I can see why people purchase this box like 3 times, whenever it released in 3rd edition, to just start their army with a bang. I wouldn't do that for now. Just get it once, paint it up, and then wait. But it's a great box. And once 4th edition rolls around, just check it out. Consider how you want to assemble your list, how you want to expand your list, and then make informed choices there. As far as savings go, we are looking at 37 to 38%. Just an impressive box all around. I don't know what to say. You're saving a ton of money, you're getting a ton of points, and you're basically getting a Tree Lord for free and a little bit extra. So overall, I would say that this box is definitely a huge thumbs up, one of the best Vanguard boxes, if I dare say so. So definitely a strong recommendation for this box from my side. As far as purchasing this box goes, on the Warhammer store, whenever I checked it out, it said sold out online for this particular box. So I don't know what exactly that means. Usually they say, sold out for now, or that they are going to get them back in stock later on. Usually sold out online means that it's gone. So I'm not sure what GW is doing for now with Vanguard box. I'm a little bit confused as far as their Warhammer store goes, but their new website is not that great, so it could mean anything. I would definitely say that if you find it at a third-party retailer for maybe 10 to 20% off and you want to start Sylvaneth, I would strongly recommend you get it because, I don't know, I don't want to incite FOMO or anything, but who knows what GW is doing currently just before 4th edition. As far as Order goes as a whole, I think they have great Vanguard boxes. We've reviewed some of the better boxes in here, and you have a ton of options if you wanted to start Order, especially, as I said, Sylvaneth have a great box, Lumineth have a great starter box, and so on. So most of the boxes, if not all, we've reviewed today are pretty good. Probably the weakest one being the Idoneth, but I still think it's worth a pickup just for one box and then expanding from there. So overall, lastly, I just wanted to quickly mention that I've gotten some kind of comments regarding FOMO and these videos being kind of a push for you, the viewer, to purchase these boxes and panic. That is definitely not the intention for these videos. I just wanted to clarify that in the video and not just in a comment hidden. You are a smart individual. You know how big your pile of shame is, and you know what you should and shouldn't purchase. If you have a ton of unpainted plastic in your room right now, you probably shouldn't go out there and buy a Vanguard even though it's tempting. Just wait, paint your models, or sell them, or do something with them, and then, consider starting a new army from there. As far as FOMO goes, usually I would expect these boxes to stay around until their Battle Tome arrives, which is going to be a while after 4th edition drops. Now, some of these boxes, as I said with the Sylvaneth, have sold out online on their Warhammer store in their kind of little note. And that is a little bit concerning, but I don't know exactly what it means. So if you're really interested in one of these boxes and you see it sold out on the Warhammer store, just contact them via email and ask them what exactly it means. Are they out of production? Are they going to get more stock? All of that good stuff. You can just ask them questions, and their support has been one of the best out there that I've ever had to work with. So definitely a thumbs up there for GW. But overall, make informed purchasing decisions. You are a smart individual. You know exactly how much money you have, you know how much unpainted plastic you have, and you know how much time you have. So yeah, just wanted to mention that once again. So yeah, if you enjoyed the video, leave a thumbs up, subscribe, check out the links down in the description below if you want to support the channel, become a member, if you want to have access to videos a little bit earlier. All the money goes into the channel. I'm trying to set up a table and a camera for battle reports, for Vanguard, Spearhead, and Combat Patrol. So yeah, I hope this video was insightful. I hope to see you in the next one. Take care.